evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Friday, April 21, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. We have more to do to create changes in our society, says President Ali at Eid celebration. MV LISHA, one of many vessels to be added to Guyana's fleet, says EDGHILL. Shutdown of Georgetown prison likely, says JAGDEO. Man beaten to death days after admitted patient at Psychiatric hospital. And missing BERBICE woman found dead with neck almost severed. Now for the news in detail. As the local Muslim community in Guyana joined the rest of the world in observing al-Fitr today, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali told fellow worshippers that the recently concluded month of Ramadan should reinforce the fact that they have the ability to be better humans and do better for others. Here is more from Vanu Manikchand.
al-Fitr was observed on Friday, signifying the end of Ramadan, a month-long fasting filled with prayer, reflection, and community. President Mohammed Irfan Ali attended the al-Fitr program at the Muslim Youth Organization on Friday morning, where he reminded worshippers of the importance of contentment and togetherness, both core teachings of Islam.
As we celebrate Eid today, Brother Imran said it. We must not do so believing that the world is totally a happy place. We must do so understanding how grateful we should be for where we are. Understanding how much more we have to do to create changes in our society and changes in the world that will be beneficial to human beings.
President Ali went on to highlight a verse in the Quran that speaks to the entire humanity despite their differences coming together.
The Quran says, "O humanity, not O Muslims, O humanity, indeed we have created you from a male and a female and made you into peoples and tribes so that you may get to know each other." Allah acknowledges, the Quran acknowledges that we were created differently by design. Not so that we may hate each other, not so that we may compete against each other, but so that we may know each other.
According to the head of state, the responsibility is not just on Muslims, but the entire Guyanese population to be responsible and play their part in ensuring there is unity amongst the people.
The reaching out and the togetherness and coming together is not confined only to the Ummah. We even have a greater responsibility to take this verse of the Quran to all of human beings. So those in Guyana who form part of the Ummah, who believe that divisiveness and being part of action that does not promote one Guyana is acceptable, I'm afraid this is not part of Islam. Coming together requires exactly what the Quran prescribes. We need, as a country, all of us as Guyanese, to get our act together. This Ramadan must reinforce in us that we have the ability to be better. We have the ability to do better. We have the ability to be better individually and collectively. Let us not waste it.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
Emphasizing that the 2.5 billion MV LISHA, which would service the route between Georgetown and Northwest, is a game changer, Public Works Minister Juan EDGHILL has disclosed that it is one of several vessels that would be added to the local fleet. Find out more in this Rupasinaran report.
On Friday, a luncheon was organized at the Pegasus Hotel for the successful delivery of the MV LISHA. Earlier this month, the vessel arrived in Port Georgetown after it sailed from Kolkata to Chennai and then made its way through the Atlantic Ocean to Trinidad. The vessel was built by Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited under a Government of India funded $12.77 million line of credit. According to Public Works Minister EDGHILL, it is the first of many to be added in upgrading Guyana's current fleet.
We went ahead and we docked and repaired the MV Kimbia, the MV Barima. I think right now we are getting ready, if it is not yet in, MV Sandaka is getting in for docking. So we are repairing the old and making it more efficient, but we're also modernizing. MV Malaysia is just the first of many vessels that we will have to have.
This new northwest-bound ferry has a capacity of up to 276 passengers, along with 18 crew members, and also carries 14 sedan-type vehicles and 2 trucks. It can also accommodate up to 250 tons of cargo with cold storage facilities. Minister within the Public Works Ministry, Deodat Indar, noted that the cold storage facility will bring down costs attached for freight charges.
The cold storage is very important too, because a lot of time you can't take stuff up because of the cold storage. So the people normally take it through flights, and it costs them more, and it costs the people of Region 1 more because of the flight costs, simply because of the flight costs. Now all of those things, you will have a rebalancing of some of those things, because people now can move that cargo through the cold storage.
Meanwhile, the ferry pass system will also be used for this route. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Efforts are being intensified to address the issue of non-tariff barriers to trade, as more and more countries within the Caribbean community are expressing an interest in importing fresh produce from Guyana. Lawanda McAllister has the details.
We are working now and meeting with them to stop or to remove, so to speak, remove all the non-tariff barriers that used to cause our produce not to go into the market.
That was Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa during a recent engagement with farmers of the east coast of Demerara. He noted that countries such as Trinidad and Tobago have expressed an increased interest in importing fresh produce from Guyana.
Trinidad and Tobago was the hardest country for us to export our produce. They had all kinds of laws there, all kinds of barriers to our produce. Now we are working to remove those barriers.
In May last year, Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago had signed a Memorandum of Understanding, among other things, to resolve trade restrictions between the two countries. The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry has been very vocal about the difficulties faced by local firms in conducting business in and with Trinidad and Tobago due to a number of trade barriers. Meanwhile, the Agriculture Minister says he has had discussions with the Prime Ministers of Barbados and Antigua, similarly on their desires for more of Guyana's fresh produce to enter their markets.
She wants Guyana produce to go into Barbados. And we have been working very close with her. Like Antigua and Barbuda, when Prime Minister came here, Bronx, he also, I spoke to him and he wanted those things. So we have to work with the farmers. There are enough markets out there for our farmers' produce to go there.
Minister Mustafa assured that government will continue to work to find new markets for Guyanese farmers. Reporting for the Evening News, Lawanda McAllister.
Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael joins us now to report that works are moving apace to develop 1,800 house lots in Region 5, some of which have already been allocated. Here are the details.
The 3 housing schemes are located at Georgetown, West Bank BERBICE, where a 700 house lot scheme is being developed. Blairmont, also on the West Bank, where a 900 house lot scheme is being developed, and Burma, East Coast Demerara, where over 250 house lots are being developed. Vice Chairman of the Blairmont NDC, Ayur Tajmul, speaking at the RDC meeting on Thursday, said work on the 2 schemes on the West Bank are moving apace.
These 2 new housing schemes will bring a lot of development, a lot of employment to the residents within the community and the near environs. So it's very good job being done by the government.
In November last year, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Suzanne Rodriguez, stated that the land for the Shieldstown housing scheme was acquired by the ministry in May 2021. The house lots at Shieldstown have already been allocated. The new landowners are persons who would have been promised house lots prior to 2020. Meanwhile, former regional chairman Bindradan Bisnaw told the RDC that it took close to a decade to get the Burma housing project off its foot. He said some of the beneficiaries are persons currently living in riverine communities.
Actual housing scheme can be crucial. So I want to commend the now Minister of Housing, both ministers, and of course the Cali Valley Regional Democratic Council for their input in making this a reality. Over 250 beneficiaries in and around the March area, the Burma area, and even out of the area, people will benefit. I also want to say that it will be of great, of immense benefit to the people living in the riverine areas, because we know about the flooding situations as soon as it rains. And I'm happy to say that a lot of those people were already awarded last year.
Regional Vice Chairman Ryan Peters, who chaired the RDC on Thursday, explained that the region was fortunate to have the housing program return to the region. He pointed out that for a number of years following the 2015 national elections, the housing drive in the region was at a standstill. For the evening news, Andrew Carmichael.
Coming up, over 700 drivers prosecuted using e-ticketing system, and PPP expects timely disclosure of LGE results. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Attention homeowners and contractors. You must see the wide variety of toilet sets of Gaffurs before you build. They have two types of toilet designs: S-trap, which goes down into the floor, and P-trap, which goes out through the wall. Both designs come in dual flush and lever flush. The dual flush helps conserve on water usage, and both are fitted as normally done. Spare parts are readily available for all the toilets sold at Gaffurs. So get quality sanitary ware products at affordable prices for home or office from Gaffur's MacDo Mega Complex and outlets at Purika, Means, Land of Canaan, BV, Rose Hall, Kanji, and Diamond. For superior customer service, superior quality, and competitive prices, it's Gaffur's, the name you.
Oh my lord! I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The Guyana Police Force has prosecuted some 735 errand drivers from December 2022 to date, utilizing the e-ticketing system that was operationalized along the EDGHILL to Mandela Highway in September 2022. The system uses cameras and other technology to accurately monitor traffic, checking speeds and reading license plates, etc., as well as tracking any traffic violations to ensure efficient ticketing. The system operates on a 24-hour basis and is expected to encourage drivers to follow traffic laws, promote greater discipline on the roads, and reduce the number of accidents caused by dangerous driving. Meanwhile, the majority of the offenses committed were speeding and failure to wear seatbelts. We now tell you that the Guyana government is considering the permanent closure of the Georgetown prison, which is located on Camp Street in the heart of the capital city. This was revealed by Vice President Dr. JAGDEO during a press conference on Thursday. A massive fire, which was started by inmates, had destroyed the Camp Street Penitentiary in July 2017. A section of the facility has been reconstructed and is currently housing approximately 293 prisoners, both remanded and convicted. VP JAGDEO has told reporters that government is moving towards shutting down the prison facility, given the encumbrance it is posing to surrounding residents and businesses. However, he noted that no formal decision has been made as yet. Let's have a look.
The idea is to concentrate all of our activities there. I don't know whether we shut it down totally yet, but the idea is that soon most of the prisoners will be out of there. So we have not made a formal decision as yet, but it seems as though it's heading that way. That's what I can say at this point. No decision has been made whatsoever. No decision has been made. I know that the locking down the road has affected a lot of the business around the area. They complain a lot about when you lock off the road, it's affecting the business and stuff. The people come to us all the time. Their business ventures are being affected.
A few days after he was admitted a patient at the National Psychiatric Hospital, a man was beaten to death by patients there. Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports.
Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of 32-year-old Danish Passad of Bath Settlement, West Coast to BERBICE. According to the police, he died sometime between 1 hour and 7 hours 30 on Wednesday at the National Psychiatric Hospital at Fort Kanji. The dead man's parents said he was taken to see a private psychiatric doctor on Monday who referred him to the Fort Kanji National Psychiatric Hospital. According to his father, Davendra Passad, he visited his son at the psychiatric institution on Tuesday and took food for him, and the next morning he received a telephone call stating that his son was transferred to the New Amsterdam Hospital. He said the call came from the social worker attached to the facility.
We go and search all the ward in the hospital. There's nowhere is my son. When we got the accident ward, the emergency unit there, then a nurse come and tell me, said the doctor gonna need to speak to y'all just now. And then when the doctor come and speak to me, he tell me, said Dinesh come over, from over there, that psychiatric hospital, die.
According to the police, initial investigations revealed that at about 5:55 hours on Wednesday, a nurse on duty at the facility was alerted of a patient on the floor lying motionless with blood protruding from his mouth and nostrils. He was taken to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. An autopsy conducted on the body on Friday gave the cause of death as shock and cerebral hemorrhage due to a fracture to the skull.
When he post-mortem, this by cut. And then see fracture skull, then beat him, broke, bust up his head, all his show life, his leg. I mean, tell us, I'm really hard for my child. And we want justice. We want justice for our son. Our son not married, he not got a wife, he don't have a kid. He's young, 32 years, and I'm a mother, and I want justice in this story. Because I know the public out there have children and they can protect their children from this trouble because they can face it in the mental institute too. Because these are more than one time. We are facing problem with an age. Every time as a mother when they take him to the clinic, they always give him a heart attack. Them go take his stuff. When they complain to the nurse, they have no satisfaction.
The health department has issued no statement on the incident. The dead man's mother says the National Psychiatric Hospital has not provided the family with any information.
Yamson Hospital said, go over there in the mental hospital. They have to tell you what happened with your son. Then bring this boy die. This boy dead. Then carry him with stretcher. Then carry him with stretcher him over. This boy died and nobody talked. And they carry away and they never talk. They don't call parents.
Police say they are investigating the incident. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
The body of a quarantine woman was this morning discovered at a farm in East Kanji with her neck almost severed. She was reported missing about a week ago and was believed to have been abducted. Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael joins us again to report that the body was found about 55 miles from her home.
Dead is 36-year-old LISHA DeMandio, a housewife formerly of Crabwood Creek Quarantine. The body was discovered at about 7 hours on Friday at Creek Dam, Betsy Ground Villages, Kanji Berbice, at a sheep farm about 55 miles from her home. Police say the body was wrapped in a blanket at the time of the discovery. It was examined for marks of violence and a wound was seen on the neck. In fact, the police say the neck was almost severed. Dionarine Ramishnath says it was his son who made the discovery. At the time, he and a female neighborhood police officer had gone to check on the sheep.
They had a sheep on goat last, and she and the mistress come down there. When he come down there, he right back and come house and said somebody dead and left on the water side. So when me come down, me not go down, me not see a house. So me not see, me just stay there, me just go by the bridge and me live there. Me not worry go down more far. He says somebody lie down there.
Did he know at the time the person was shot first?
No, he can't know. Because he never reached down there. Just before he reached there, he see the person. Because like upon here today, you see the place clear. You understand? The place clear. If you look at it, you can see somebody later down there or whatsoever.
In April 2023, the Mandio left her Crabwood Creek Quarantine home and went to her mother's residence at Blairmont, West Bank, Berbice, to spend some time. On April 14, she was allegedly abducted. The matter was reported to the Blairmont police station. Checks were made for her in both regions 5 and 6, but to no avail. Police say, acting on information received, a party of policemen from the Marine section went into the Kanji River within the New Forest village area, about 3 miles from where the body was found, and a mattress and pillow with what appeared to be blood stains were seen. According to the police, the Mandio and the man called Sunil Durga once shared a relationship and have one child. Durga is the sheep farmer's brother. Police have since issued a wanted bulletin for Durga. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
On the heels of the protracted 5-month-long general and regional elections 3 years ago, the People's Progressive Party is hopeful that all the right systems will be in place so that the winners of this year's local government elections can be known in a timely fashion. Tasia Dickinson tells us more.
During a recent broadcast program, Minister of Local Government Nigel Dharamlal reflected on the past general and regional elections of 2020 and expressed hope that the upcoming local government polls on June 12 will be vastly different. In fact, he expressed hopes that the results from the local government polls will be promptly available and that the country's political opposition does not engage in activities which can derail the process.
We expect the elections results to be, as in 2020, we had known the results of the elections by the evening. And in the course of the local government elections, those results should also be in by the close of business as well, because one of the requirements is to publicly post the results of the elections, the statements of poll, at the place of poll in public. And so by the end of the day, you practically know who has won the elections, as we did with the national elections as well.
The minister further emphasized the importance of the local governance system as he urged citizens to ensure they participate by voting.
Local governance is basically people from within communities who govern themselves. And the stronger the local government system, the stronger local governance, so too will be the national democracy. So it is incredibly important because services that ought to have been provided by the local democratic organs, unfortunately those services have to be provided by central government because rate collection is still low, because participation in terms of the best candidates becoming councillors. So what we have done in terms of our party is that we have done an enormous amount of consultations across constituencies in our country to make sure that we have the most committed and hopefully the best candidates who can be voted as councillors in all of our local democratic organs.
Specifically, Dharam Lal, a member of the governing People's Progressive Party, is urging Georgetown residents to vote for their candidates.
You are finding Georgetown heavily transformed. It is expanding in terms of the housing infrastructure. The commercial infrastructure of Georgetown has also expanded tremendously over the last 2.5 years. And it is going to get even more intense as we proceed into the future. So the city of Georgetown requires proper management. And I think that a new political party, and in this case the PPPC, should be given the opportunity to manage Georgetown by the citizens of Georgetown.
Tassia Dickinson for the Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, April 22nd at 5 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, April 22nd at 5 hours 10 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Kennard's Memorial Turf Club to host CARICOM Day Race and Boxing Day Race, and Anderson delighted after scoring maiden first class 100. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
John Lewis Styles has opened a new department, now offering home goods. Here you can find quality sheets and towels, pillows, blankets, and even bath mats and shower curtains. Organize your laundry with clothes baskets, fabric steamers, irons, and ironing boards. For the kitchen we have small appliances, towels and mittens, pot sets and dinner sets too. Decorate the house with mirrors, picture frames, floating shelves, and decorative pillows. All these and more on Waterloo Street. It's fashion for the home. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Moving, lifting, or bending, whatever the job, we at Sylvie's Variety Store have the right tools to make it happen. Pallet jacks and hand trucks for bonds and industrial sites, easy pickup and convenient maneuvers. Chain hoist from Roughneck and Northern Industrial, the perfect solution to lifting heavy objects. And then there's the 12-ton and 16-ton hydraulic pipe benders from 1/2 to 2 inch. We also stock the shop press machine from Northern Industrial. Sylvie's Variety Store stocks the tools to make it happen.